Welcome back, everyone. Well, it's winter camping season and I'm gonna get ready for this year. I have a couple things to do with my wood stove, so you'll follow along on that journey. So today we are going to install the damper. That's gonna help me control the burn within the stove. And we'll get right to it now. Let's get to the shop. We're back inside, and as you can see here, I have my Danchel wood stove. I use this for all my winter camping. I really love it. I've had it for several years now. But one downfall of this unit is it does not have a damper, so it tends to burn pretty hot when it does. And the only way I can really sort of dampen down the burn is using this tray right here. This is the ash tray. And so, you can kind of get more airflow by adjusting the tray, which is also not great because you're exposing potentially some ashes and other things. You're kind of opening the firebox there a little bit. So I don't like to do that. So this year I've decided to install my little 3-inch damper. So let's take a look at that. So I picked this up online, and dampers come in different sizes. For this unit right here, you definitely need something that's like a really tiny little damper. So it's kind of cute to install. A little bit nerve-wracking. There's definitely a unique size to the stove piping for this. So not easily acquired online, and has a very unique piece that attaches on to the stove. And we're going to install this on the first section of piping. So let's hope this goes really well. So all the stove pipe is stored inside the unit itself. And this top also comes off. So that's how all the piping is in there. Every year it's like a little jigsaw puzzle, figuring out how to put it all back together again. All right, so here is the piece that I need. This piece goes directly into the back of the wood stove. And you can see it's a very unique piece. It's not like some of the other newer wood stoves out there that kind of just connect directly to the top of the unit. It goes in the back and it rests on this little lip right here. So it makes it a little bit difficult to install the damper coming from this direction. Like I cannot separate these two pieces. They are, linked together, possibly. Yeah, there's this little piece right here that holds these two things together. So I can't really take it apart. So what we're going to have to do is measure from this part of the stovepipe down to install the damper somewhere in here. Somewhere where basically I can reach to hold the little flapper for the damper while I install the pin on the way through. Now, important to consider with the Danchel wood stove, the pieces, they nest together. So for example, this is the next piece that would go kind of in line as you keep going with the tubing. And as you can see, there's a little lip right here on this right there. And that actually nests over top of this. So when we kind of put this together, that's how it goes. So you do not want to be installing anywhere in this 2.5-inch area because you're going to have a big problem. So you're going to have to kind of measure from here down a little bit and decide where you want it. You can actually kind of see when you take these apart, there is a slight, because I've used this a lot, there is that slight little line right there. So that's kind of where it's going to finally rest. So make sure to install the damper kind of in this area away from this part, because otherwise if you go here, well, it's not going to go well. It's going to kind of stop on the pin right here, not be fully attached properly. So you're going to have some laxity there in your stove piping. All right, so let's start drilling. So let's look at our little workstation here. So I have with me a marker, Sharpie, a measuring tape, of course, my cast iron damper, and a drill. And you're going to want a 1/4-inch drill bit that measures pretty much exactly for this damper pin right here. And of course, the section of stovepipe that you are working with. So as you can see here, the area that we want to kind of avoid in my stovepipe here is about 2.5 inches long. So that area is going to be completely covered by the next section of stovepipe. So I'm probably going to take my little, I'm probably going to go in, yeah, maybe about like 5 inches. I think that's probably pretty good. And I suppose I could go in at 4 inches. Maybe I'll do 4.5. So what we'll do is we'll just mark a little spot here on the side of the pipe with my Sharpie, and then we'll use a little awl here. You could use like a nail or screw or something. Just make like a little mark in here, little divot, so that when you're actually drilling out the 1/4-inch hole, that you're not sliding all over the place. Okay, so kind of want to go just on the side here. Whatever, it'll work whichever way. Mark that off here. It's pretty okay. Maybe just a little bit over. Now, we'll just use this little awl here and we're going to just make a mark. Perfect. Okay. Little wee divot there so that when I do my work here, we're not going to have a problem. Now, one thing we could do is while we're drilling, I have this kind of plastic PVC piping. I could put this in here as like a support so that it doesn't bend. This is a pretty small tubing, so I could kind of do that to support it while I'm drilling if I want. We'll see how this goes, but this is where you send your thoughts and prayers, guys, that this works. All right, this drill bit is not as sharp as I want it to be, so I'm going to replace it with another 1/4 inch bit here, and we'll hope for the best. I feel like I'm pushing way too hard, so let's switch this out. Okay, let's try this again. There we go, much better. Much better. It's actually cutting through, and I do like using that PVC tube because just put a little extra pressure on there. Yeah, it just goes to show you if something's not working out, figure out something different. That drill bit was not sharp enough, the first one that I had, so I had a brand new one I just used in there actually to take 2 seconds to get through this. The next step, what we're going to do is I'm just going to take apart the damper, and we're going to use the damper pin itself to mark the other side. If you've never taken one of these things apart, what you do is you kind of, like, it's sort of locked in place the way it is right now, but what you need to do is sort of push in and then twist to get the little damper plate off. I'm really better at this with my left hand, so I just push it in. I don't know if you can see, I kind of push and you can kind of twist. And then this comes apart like that. So then you have this part here with the spring, and then the little flapper there. All right, let's use this to score the other side. You can see it has a very sharp point. So we're going to make a little dimple on the other side, and then we'll use our awl just to kind of invert the dimple, and then we'll drill. All right, so what we're going to do next is go in perpendicular to our stovepipe, and just make sure it's just kind of lined up there. And then you're just going to do a really firm pressure there. So it's going to dent. It's not going to punch through, but it's just going to make a little mark on the other side for you to install the damper. And if you want, you can kind of put it over top of something so you can really press hard there. You can see right here this little wee hole. What you need to do now is we're going to use the awl. We're just going to like indent it a little bit so our drill bit fits in there. All right, so now we're just going to make a little bit of a divot there. There we go. Awesome. See that little tiny hole there? And if you've done it properly, it should be the same measurement as the other side. It's about 4.5 inches. All right, let's drill this out. There we go. Perfect. Well, that went better than expected. So you should have 2 holes directly across from each other. And now all that remains is that we just have to install the damper. So this technically should go pretty quickly. What you want to do is kind of the inverse of sort of taking it apart. So you're going to want to put this in here. We're going to put the damper flap in there, line it up, and then we will reinstall it. Okay, so gloves back on because you're going to go down the stovepipe here. But basically you're going to put it in like so and line it up with the hole. Just like that. You'll have to trust me on that one. My hand's stuck in there. And then we're going to put the pin back in. So we're just going to go like so. And then you're just going to have to, once you got in there, you'll just want to like line it up. There we go. Now you can kind of see what I'm doing here. And just line it up and you're going to hook it back in. All right. So there you have it. You just kind of feed it through. And then what I do is I leave it kind of in this position when I'm trying to put the little pin in the lock position. I have one hand kind of holding it straight up and down like that. And then I used my other hand to kind of really put it in there and twist it to lock it in place. So now you can see the damper working. See, when I go like that, I can control the oxygen flow. So this is going to be a game changer for my camping. And you can see there's a little bit of a gap between my damper flapper there and the stovepipe wall. So I'm super excited. I think this is going to work really well to kind of stop some of the really hot burns that I have here at the when I do my winter camping. Sometimes this pipe is glowing like orange, which is not proper. You should never do that. That's really going to be bad for the metal and stuff. And it's also really dangerous. So this will be a game changer. A lot of the newer wood stoves for winter camping and stuff like that, they come with the damper. This Danshell stove is older, so it never did have a damper. It came with it, so I had to buy this separately online. So I'm really pumped. So next week, you'll have a video to look forward to that will be me checking out, doing some compressed logs, seeing if those kind of burn well in a little wood stove like this. I'm looking for a solution for kind of overnight in the hot tent, so I'm not up every hour stoking this little tiny firebox back here. So we're going to try a little experiment with some of those compressed logs you can kind of pick up at the home hardware stores. I want to see how long of a burn I can get on those and if it's worthwhile using those, say, for overnight. So stay tuned. All right, so hope this helped you guys out. If you have a stove like this or even a larger wood stove that you want to install a damper in, hopefully this gave you little tips and tricks on how to do it. But always remember, have a really sharp bit and, measure twice and drill once. So anyways, this went well. This could have gone very badly, but it's doing well. All right, see you guys in the next video. Stay safe on the trails. Bye for now.